Hello guys, this is Vincent from Cornerstone Acres. So our today's topic is a very interesting one, and this is on why poultry venture or poultry farmers fail in their quest to make profit. So why poultry farmers fail? So farmers are the same all everywhere, but some fail and others succeed to become a showcase model farms. There are many difficulties that are experienced by new and small-scale poultry producers, and this can be surmounted if only we understand where the problem is. So, agriculture extension officers and farm management experts now say that farm projects fail due to three factors. First factor is farm blindness. Second factor is poor to access markets. This one resulting in cash flow. And the third one is production and management problems. And that is inefficient disease management. Farm blindness is defined as farmers' lack of knowledge, resulting in them regarding the situation on the farmers being on the norm everywhere. When farmers do not know enough about farming in poultry or poultry farming, they end up with poor bad performance and animal welfare. They are, however, unaware that this is a problem because they do not know any better. They've not learned. They've not invested in education or in learning. So training and information sharing is today recommended as the solution to these problems. This is because farmers who are equipped with the correct knowledge will learn and so become accustomed to what normal is. Some of this farm knowledge can be acquired through constant monitoring and like what we are doing right now. We are educating ourselves. And through also observations of birds and with time, a farmer can identify stress signals early and address this before situation gets out of control. So to start off, why do poultry farmers really fail? One of the key points is not doing a visibility study. So in most cases, farmers make little or no effort to carry out a visibility study. You need a visibility study to know whether there are suppliers in your area and other important role players in the vicinity of your farm. So the most important of these are the suppliers of day-old chickens or another supplier of point of lay hens, supplier of feed, supplier of medicines and vaccination, suppliers of disinfectants and vaccines. Also, you need to know whether there are veterinary services around your area, if there are laboratories, if there are abattoirs for slaughtering and processing of chickens, and also crucially, a reliable market. So do not locate your project far away from the market, and this will only increase your costs, especially during the rainy seasons when the roads are impassable. Our second point that makes farmers fail is inadequate housing. So to become commercially viable and sustainable, an emerging farmer must provide the chickens with the correct type of housing for the production system that is being practiced. So the main purpose of poultry housing is to provide chickens with a healthy, comfortable environment and to ensure optimal production at an affordable price. Some of the reasons or the following are important environmental conditions inside chicken houses. One factor that you have to consider is the temperature in the houses. Chickens are normally warm-blooded animals with a body temperature between 40.6 degrees Celsius to 41.7 degrees Celsius. So when a chicken hatches, its body temperature goes down to about 39.7 degrees Celsius. Chickens cannot maintain their body temperature. So in order to maintain it inside the house, the roofs and the walls must be insulated. A corrugated iron chicken house becomes an oven. It's very hot during the hot seasons and a fridge during the cold season. When it is cold, the chicks or chickens gather at a corner and climb on top of each other, especially the chicks. They climb on top of each other, resulting in several suffocating. As well, during hot temperatures, this also results in fatalities. Another aspect of the house, or constructing a house, is the airflow. The purpose of airflow is to introduce fresh air and remove stale air and control the temperature in the house. In open-sided houses, this flow is controlled by means of plastic curtains. So it is therefore important for these curtains to open from the top to bottom, leaving a space at the bottom. This prevents cold air from blowing directly onto the chickens. Another aspect that affects the housing is the floor spacing. Many of the emerging farmers do not have an experience in rearing chickens and cannot manage a high number per square meter. So it is recommended that a beginner farmer should have no more than 10 chickens or hens or whatever chickens that you are keeping per meter squared. Our other point that makes farmers fail, or this venture of poultry farming become a failure, is the feed. The feed, especially chickens like broilers, they have been specifically bred to grow fast. That is 38 grams to 2.5 kg in 6 weeks. So to reach this, the chicken must be provided with the correct feed. Because feed cost is high, it has been calculated that it's almost about 70% of the production cost. Some farmers, quirky farmers, mix good quality feeds with the lower grade feed. This results in poor growth performance. So many farmers rely on public transport again, which increases the price of feed significantly. Our next point on why poultry farmers fail is how they do their marketing. This is one of the greatest problems. Some farmers fail to honor their contracts, even with suppliers, while others cannot handle their finances. Most do not put money back again into the business. Because of these problems, many end up selling live birds and consume the profit. Some farmers are doing layers sell them in their active laying period, thus incurring losses. Our next point that make farmers fail is training. Most farmers embark on poultry farming without receiving any training. A fact that is very evident in the way they rear their birds. We are reducing on that by learning this article. So our next point shall be not observing biosecurity measures on the poultry farm. This is very critical. A farmer should have a biosecurity program that is designed to prevent diseases from entering or spreading on the farm. So two of the most critical aspects are access control and disinfections of person and vehicles entering the premises or entering your farm. A farmer should not allow people and vehicles to enter and leave the premises at will. As well as the buyers should not be allowed to enter chicken house freely. Anybody coming to buy, they should not come to select by themselves. There should be a system that is guiding them on how to go about in the farm. This is one of the surest ways of introducing diseases if you let people just enter your farm anyhow. So our next topic that makes a poultry farm or farmers fail is added costs. So the erratic nature of the market has several negative knocks-on effects. Firstly, uncertain cash flow makes it difficult for farmers to make advance payment for inputs such as feeds, buying chicks, or buying point of lay pullets. Cash flow can become severely strained by delays in sales and inability to recover funds spent in the previous cycle that you've sold your previous flock. They've not paid you. Access to fund without security is also a near impossible, which means that the farmers are only able to procure inputs when they have money in hand. So poor cash flow and not being able to achieve economy of scale results in farmers not being able to buy products such as feeds in bulk and thus reap the benefit of resultant cost savings. Secondly, it results in birds being kept longer than necessary, which in effect delays the commencement of a new production cycle because the farmers have no money to order new stock. For instance, broilers are usually kept for 35 to 39 days before they are sold live. If they exceed this period, they do not offer the farmer any good income. Money is also lost because the bird prevents the facility from being used to its full potential. Just imagine how much money farmers loses by keeping 20 birds instead of his full production capacity of say 100 birds. We also have our next point that makes us our farmers fail, not making advance orders. A farmer should make an advance order on his chicks, and if you are into buying off point of lay pullets from producers, so that they can adjust their planning to ensure sufficient supply for their customers. If a farmer is not unable to confirm an order in advance, there is no guarantee that he or she will be able to get chicks from a hatchery or secure those point of lay pullets when they are needed. I've mentioned point of lay pullets. There are farmers who don't like going through buying chickens from the start. So farmers will go for what? For layers that have reached an age of 5 months. So they will just take care of them for like 1 to 2 weeks and then they start laying. So another point that makes us as farmers, poultry farmers, fail is that when we do it in a small scale, or when we become a small scale chicken farmer, or those who are doing it in small scale. So consumers who buy live bird usually takes only small quantity at a time, which result in farmers not using their production facilities to the full potential. Farmers need to restock houses as soon as possible. After a batch has left and the facility has been cleaned and prepared for the next consignment, a producer loses money every day the poultry facility stands empty. The same applies to feed, bedding, and vaccines. Failure to secure enough feed at the start of the production cycle can result in farmers struggling to do so throughout the entire production cycle. There's an effect, a danger that feed may not be available when it is needed, which can result in birds taking longer to reach their target weight. Birds might also become stressed, which could render them more vulnerable to diseases. So another thing that is derailing farmers, making them losses and fail, is that not vaccinating the birds. Vaccination plays an important part in the health management of poultry flock. There are numerous diseases that are preventable or prevented by vaccinating the birds against them. A vaccine helps to prevent a particular disease by triggering or boosting the bird's immune system to produce antibodies that in turn fight the invading organism or the diseases. So our next point again is how we do our disease management. This will determine if we as poultry farmers will fail. Disease management is another great challenge for poultry farmers. Birds that are sick or recovering from diseases generally eat less and produce less meat or less eggs. Some diseases can be treated, which adds to cost of production. But in extreme cases, whole flocks might have to be culled or to be eradicated to eradicate what? The disease. Farmers primarily struggle with disease management due to poor quality chicks, poor management practices, and inefficient vaccination program. Another point that makes us fail is that going for poor quality chicks, which can often be linked to inefficient planning. Failure to order birds in advance often result in farmers having to settle for what they can get, which surely turns out to be lower quality chicks. These birds might be more vulnerable to diseases than better quality birds, and they will also require more inputs such as feeds to reach their target weight. So to sum it up all is that poultry farming is a science that needs many role players as well as many different management procedures, which forms parts of successful poultry enterprise. If the role of all these players or management procedures are not correct, the poultry farmer is bound to do what? To fail. Thank you guys. Thank you for your time. Please don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that you are notified every time we upload a video. Have a nice time.